Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, I'll be talking about some of the most common questions that I get asked by aspiring product managers so many times. Questions like, why companies want experienced product managers even for entry-level PM roles? And if you don't have PM experience, does it mean it's a dead end for you to get into those roles or try for those roles and more importantly, grow in those roles? So if those are your questions or if you want to find out more, stay tuned. This video will answer all of these questions for you. Let's start with the first question. Why companies look for experienced product managers, even for entry-level PM roles? Well, I'll give you five, main reasons. The first one being, even an entry-level PM role is not a fresher's role. PM function as a whole, it's a mid-management to senior management, role. So what is expected even from an entry-level product manager is very different from what is expected from a fresher. Reason number two, people skill is super important to be successful in this role. And according to me, that only comes through experience. Let me give an example. Let's assume that you are really great at problem solving, you're super creative, and you're very passionate about being part of a product journey. Let's assume all of that. And you have got into a product, right, as a product manager. Now, tell me something. Why wouldn't the head of engineering, who's like 20 years of experience, who has been there, done it so many times, why wouldn't that person think whatever he thinks should be the vision or what the engineering should build versus whatever you are telling him to do? Another example, the sales guy, right, who's there in front of the customer trying to sell the product. Why or what reason would he have to just trust you just because you have the title? Doesn't give them, the reason to trust you that whatever they are telling you to make it happen on the product can actually wait 6 months. He would not agree to that, right? So how do you make these people agree to certain plan, which is the best plan for the company and the customer at that given point in time? So these are what I refer to as people skills, and this comes with with time and experience. You wouldn't be able to navigate through all of these situations until and unless you have dealt with or you have been successful in dealing with people from different experience range, different genders, from different cultural backgrounds, because the people dynamics vary accordingly. And this is, as you know, this is an individual contributor role. You don't have power or authority over anybody. You would have to influence everybody to see your point and make them all agree and align and move forward with the company's vision. Alright, so reason number three. In this role, significant part of your time would go into conflict resolution. I know what you're thinking. Hey, that wasn't there in the job description. That's correct, and nobody talks about it, but at least based on my experience, at least 20 to 30% of your time would go into conflict management and navigating through all those conflicting situations. And unfortunately, that's not taught in any textbook or in any course. That only comes through experience. Okay, so now let's talk about the fourth point. Let's change the role. Let's put ourselves as the hiring manager, right? So the hiring manager knows ahead of time that if I hire someone without experience, all these people issues would come up, and the person would need lot more hand holding. In other words, the hiring manager would have to spend a lot more time coaching, mentoring, and even then it's not guaranteed that the other person would be able to learn and absorb all of that, because people skill, according to me, are like something that you cannot really spoon feed someone or teach someone. It is something that the other person observes, and depending on their EQ, they go about. Different people has different level of EQ, so the hiring manager can do only so much, not beyond that. So if they have, on the other hand, an experienced person, they know upfront that they would have to spend a lot less time with the person when the person is on job. So yeah, that's, I guess, one of the big factor that goes behind the hiring manager's mind when they look for experienced people for PM roles. Okay, so now the fifth and last point. It is all a cycle of demand and supply. If there are enough supply of experienced people and the hiring manager has options, they would prefer to take less risk for themselves, because nobody likes hiring and firing, or neither would your manager would want you to come in and be stuck in your role because of other people's perceptions. You're not able to get through and grow in the role, because as I said, 50% of your success would be around how other people perceives you, how well you're able to influence and navigate through. So yeah, these are essentially the reasons why companies look for experienced PMs, even for entry-level PM roles. Okay, so now we come to the second question, that is, can I get into a PM role without any prior PM experience? Well, the answer is absolutely yes, you can. Am I just saying this, or do I have proof? Well, I do have proof. I myself got into the PM role without any prior experience whatsoever. In fact, for that matter, at that point in time, I was, almost like a fresher. I just had 7 months of prior experience. Not as a PM though, I was in a different industry doing different things altogether. And not just me, I know a lot of other people who got into the PM role without any prior PM experience. In fact, I did a video some time back which talks about how to get into a PM role without prior experience, things that you can potentially do. I'll put that in the description box below. Do check that out if that's something that you want to know more in details. Okay, so we now come to the last question for this video, that is, can you grow in a PM role without any prior experience? Well, the answer is yes, absolutely, yes, you can. But success, growth, all of this depends on various factors, especially for a PM role. I know a lot of people who have been very successful and were able to grow very fast. At the same time, I must tell you that a significant section of the PM community, or people in the PM role, their growth is very stagnated. Again, it depends on the career choices that they make for themselves. And they don't, they often feel that they are not really driving anything. It is the other way around. They are often driven by the engineering team, the sales and marketing team, and they feel they are doing a thankless job. So the way the only thing that I would say is fight for what you love and passionate about. Reward, recognition, growth will come on its own. at its own time. You can't really do much about it. Yeah, and when it comes to success, growth, there is no magic formula that would work for all. Every person has their own, own path, and you must figure out your own path for success. What works for me may not work for you. Likewise, what would work for you may not work for me. But yeah, having said all of this, if you feel, let's say you're in the PM role for 2 to 3 years and you feel that this is not really what you thought this role is, or you're not making any progress, you're not learning anything new, you're literally stuck, then make smarter choices, career choices for yourself. Try out different roles. There is no hard fast rule that you have to be in that stuck state, right? Diversify your energy and put it in different avenues, explore other career options. And yeah, I feel life is too short to be stuck and doing things that we don't enjoy. So yeah, that would be my 2 cents. Now we have come to the end of the video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, comments. I'll surely get back, and I shall see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.